Matt, you and Kelly are wedding photographers. You photograph weddings. Shouldn't you be working every weekend? No. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why. So let's get into this. Why don't we shoot weddings every single weekend? Why do Kelly and I only shoot maybe 4 to 8 weddings a year? It's because we're particular, okay? In the world that we live in, there's this idea from clients, right? That they're going to hire you. You're going to come and spend the day with them. You're going to take thousands and thousands of photos or hundreds and hundreds of photos. And they're just going to be of random things, okay? There might be a story to it, but you're just going to take pictures of everything. You're going to do the details. You're going to do the bridal. You're going to do the dress. You're going to do the groom. You're going to do the groom's details. You're going to do all of this, right? And you're going to give us the photos. That's not how this works, okay? And let me tell you why this doesn't work this way. Okay, so when we work with our clients, right? In general, most of our clients understand this, that they hire us because we have a certain style. Kelly and I are both very photojournalistic style. We're very much documentarian style, right? What we call it is neo-traditional wedding photography. That's what we do, which is kind of a mix of the old with the new, but with a kind of a documentarian approach to it, right? So this is what we do, and we like it that way, okay? Because we're telling a story of somebody's wedding day. Now, to tell that story, it takes a little bit of creativity, right? You have to think, okay, let's learn a little bit about the couple. Let's learn a little bit about their history. Let's get to know them. Let's talk to them. Let's become friends with them. Then we can tell the story, okay? And that story might be a black and white wedding. That story might be a sepia tone wedding. That story might be a vibrant, colorful wedding. It's all sorts of stuff, okay? But the reality of this is weddings are complicated. Weddings can get difficult. And so we're putting in a lot of brain power, a lot of work behind this to think about the story, okay? Because everything we do is about the story. From the time we get there to the time we leave, it's about the story. And when we're telling this story, when we're talking to people, when we're learning about these people that we're working with, these brides and grooms that we work with, we are trying to tell the story of their wedding, of their love, of their motivation. That's what we are doing. So, can't you do that every single weekend? No, of course. I guess you could, but it's going to be very difficult, okay? Because then you're not focusing on just a select number of clients. So when our clients book us, they usually book us a year or more in advance, okay? So pop the question, hire the photographer, okay? In an ideal world, I don't do anything where somebody just says, hey, we want to do some photos. We're having a wedding in 2 weeks. Can you do it? You don't call Matt and Kelly. We're not going to come and help you. Okay? I usually don't care what your budget is. I'm not walking into a situation like that. Another situation that we're not going to walk into is somebody who micromanages the wedding. Okay? If somebody comes to us and they say, well, here's our timeline, this is what we're going to do, this is what we want, this is what we want them to look like, that's fine. There's a photographer for you. We are not that photographer. If you are hiring us based off of price alone, you are going to have problems with your photos. If you are coming to us and we take photos of your wedding and you hire us simply because we were within your budget or we were affordable or whatever, I can promise you're probably not going to like your photos. It is that simple. We are very expensive for what we do. I mean, we only need to meet our expenses, our cost of living, right? And then plenty more. We only need to cover about 6 to 8 weddings a year, and we're living pretty comfortable. and we're operating a business doing this. So wedding photography for us is more about the luxury event, not so much. We did one here recently that was very much DIY. This is our last wedding that's kind of that way. We are generally, if somebody wants to work with us, they have their wedding planner reach out to us. They can reach out to us themselves and say, hey, we're working with this wedding planner. Can you work with this person? I've had a lot of problems when it comes to photography. And man, all the years of doing this, trust me, you run into problems. Okay. And people come into this with this idea, oh, you make such beautiful pictures. I want my pictures to look just like this, and I want to give you $2,000 or $3,000 for it. I usually tell people no, unless I just really like them. If it's a local wedding, barely local wedding, and I just like the person, yeah, I'll do it for a couple of $1,000, if that's what their budget is, right? But generally, yeah, we're talking ballpark $10,000 to $15,000 for us to shoot a wedding. Okay, and that's just photography. That's not video, nothing. That's just us to come out and shoot a wedding photography, and that includes 2 shooters. So myself and Kelly. And Kelly has her own very unique composition style, her own very unique thought process. Working with the brides, Kelly usually works with the brides. I usually work with the grooms. And then we kind of come back together for the ceremony and the reception. That's kind of how that works. So when we're doing weddings, we do the wedding and then we come back. That's when I start the editing workflow. That can take weeks, okay? Because we're hand touching every single image. We're hand crafting every single image that we take, that we photograph. And then we're putting that together, okay? And then in the end, we're going to present a story in a gallery or an album, whichever you select. And we hope that that story reflects you and your love and what it is that you're wanting to reflect. Trust me, if you're stressed and you're miserable and you've tried to DIY this thing the whole way, it's going to show in your photos. In our style of photography, if you're stressed, if you're worried, if you're wore out, you've tried to DIY this thing, I get it. I get where people come from with that. And we've seen some very good, beautiful DIY weddings. These are people that really have a handle on things, all right? And not just trying to micromanage things. You can't micromanage your photography. When it comes to hiring Kelly and I, you are trusting us and our vision to deliver something for you. If you don't trust that fully, you're probably not going to like what you get. So when we ask you for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 just for the photography, there's a lot of thought process and a lot of mental work that goes into this. The creative process is vast. So if we've done your wedding for $2,000 or $3,000, consider it a value because it's a local wedding. Okay. Depending on where it is, some of our weddings can go all the way up to $30,000 or $40,000, depending on where we have to go for the wedding. Okay. And that, my friends, you're building travel into that, right? So my friends, there's a lot that goes into a wedding. Okay. And I get this question a lot. Why don't we shoot more weddings? Why aren't we busy every single weekend? That's why. Because Kelly and I work with a very select bride and groom, a very select family. Okay? Either that or we just really like them. And we really like all our brides. We really do. We really like everyone. There's only been a couple that we're like, oh gosh. But, and I won't say who they are. But we generally like them. And because we take our job very serious as storytellers, as documentarians, as people who are there to document a very special day, that's our job. And as photographers, as wedding photographers, this is what we do. And that's why we don't shoot that many weddings. We don't have to, because we're focused more on quality over quantity. That's the way we make it in the wedding photography business. I'm Matt. Our company is Route 3 Productions. It's me and my wife, Kelly. We'll see you later. Thanks for joining me. Please consider liking and subscribing. Comment if you disagree. Comment if you like it. I hope to hear from you. See you soon. Bye-bye.